Hi, I'm Asmi.
I'm Meghna,
And I'm Saisha.
and today we talked about being a press member.
We shared our thoughts on biases in the media. We talked about what being a press delegate means to us. And
we talked about the newest addition to RBSMUN, the International Press Committee.
So keep on listening.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the MUN Insider Podcast. I'm Vedahi.
Paulista.
And we are here with our first official episode. Today we are joined by 3 of our executive press members.
Hello everyone, my name is Meghna and I am head of press for this year.
Hi, I'm Asmi and I'll be chairing the International Press Council.
And I'm Saisha and I'm the editor-in-chief of the blog and the newspaper.
Okay, so I'll ask you guys a few questions. To start with, could you tell us about what the press committee has in mind for this year's MUN?
Well, for this year, along with what we do conventionally every year, which is having our committee reporters and our normal reporters pump out content around the conference and just cover it so that people can look back at it. We also have a fully functioning committee where reporters can debate. That's the new aspect for this year. Since it's virtual, we were able to sort of expand and do that. So I'm very excited about that personally. And otherwise, this year, I mean, it's new for everyone because it's virtual, and I think for press that can be taken as a good thing because we can make use of a lot of a lot of social media and things like that we can focus on. Although there won't be the fun aspects of running around and, feeling that environment that a reporter might thrive in, I guess we're going to make the best of it. Yeah.
We also have both A1s and 10th graders as roving reporters this time. So, yeah, with everything going virtual, we definitely have expanded our potential and adaptability and reach as well, hopefully.
Yeah, for the International Press Council, what we're doing is, I don't think any MUN has seen a committee of this sort, in the sense that we've completely we've made our own rules of procedure and all, like we're integrating it with the ideals of a conventional MUN committee, but we're trying to put our own spin on it. So we have two distinct members in the committee. So we have our evaluative committee, and then we have our news agencies. So our committee isn't necessarily coming up with a resolution at the end of committee session. We're just coming up with a case study. We're studying biases in the media. So it's very interesting. It's different, and I hope the delegates are looking forward to it as much as I am.
Yeah, and although the whole press committee thing has been like kind of like divided into two separate parts, I think overall it really like comes together and it's kind of cohesive. So I think moving on, we're gonna go to the second question now. So speaking on biases, like what are your thoughts on media biases and how do you think the MUN this year will help overcome the problem in the real world?
Well, MUNs in general do a lot to sort of acknowledge issues and make sure that people have perspective on different conflicts and this the world problems are. The IPC just condenses it to something we're all familiar with, but we don't really acknowledge the biases. It's just that it raises awareness and makes sure that people are really aware of what information they're resorting to and what they're actually absorbing from the mainstream media. So overcoming that problem is very subjective. I mean, it's based on how much the delegates are actually engrossed in their research and how much they're actually how much empathy and how they're planning to apply it in their real life. I mean, it's very subjective. I don't think there's a distinct answer to this one.
And so like the press and media has a lot of effect on what's popular or what's trending. I think especially for this generation, and it has such a big hand on the overall spreading of news, and that obviously gives the press in general a lot of responsibility. So with MUN and all of that, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think this is the first generation that that life is so revolving around media. Everything from media is so influential on this generation. I think it's, this is the first generation to have did the impact on them through like the media alone. So I think it's important for us as young people who are active on political and serious issues to sort of know where these biases or where these inaccuracies or manipulations come in the media. Now, all manipulations in media or biases are not going to be completely malicious or harmful, but we need to know that not all of them are unbiased, or not all of them are the exact truth. So I think through IPC, or through just being a part of the press committee, you learn how to spot certain tricks, and how news agencies work, and how they work towards their certain biases. Because even though in definition news and reporting and the press are supposed to be unbiased like entities, they are not in this day and age. So when I was like thinking about what to make this committee about, I just realized the news all over me about COVID-19, such an important issue, was being distorted for political use. And I don't know, I think that just didn't sit right with me. And so yeah, and it impacted not only our generation but so many other generations to have negative views about other people, like in terms of xenophobia, and the questioning the virus itself, questioning public health guidelines. So I thought media played such a big part in it, and we don't have that conversation enough. So I guess through the committee, even though it's just a few delegates, we're giving them the tools, and we ourselves are practicing to be more critical when consuming any form of media around us, I think.
Yeah, I think even with few delegates, it will be like a chain reaction. So people will be more aware about media biases. And I think the committee this year will really help in real life too. So
I'm actually pretty happy that it's a small committee, in the sense that because it's our first time in this committee in any MUN setting. Right? It's a good sample to work out with, and hopefully it works well for us.
It will be easier for us as the executive board to sort of be in that learning process when I guess it's a smaller group. But yeah, about the chain reaction, I think that's right. If one person is able to, garner new skills of looking at news differently, or looking at the just CNN every day, what we see on TV, and just has some extra tools to spot it, they can tell their family about it, and it's just a good start, I think.
okay, although this idea is pretty new, I think you guys will be really successful in conducting the sessions. And moving on, so being a member of the press committee and preparing for the MUN, how has the process looked like?
So much of being a press entails like lots of editing, seriously, like a lot of editing, from like personal descriptions to comedy descriptions, or like in Osmi's case, a 70-page study guide, and even down to the Instagram captions. Everything basically filters through us. Like in its essence, we're like the Grammarly of this entire MUN. So yeah, it's been a lot of work and a lot of stress, and I never thought like a misplaced comma could like annoy me this much, but it did. Anyways, but when you look back at it, in the end, it's always worth it. Like, I'd rather not be in any other committee doing anything else, because, well, this is my forte. When you see the newspaper, when you see the blog up, there's just a sense of gratification. That's it. Like, you look at it and you think, yeah, my team did this, and yeah, in the end, it's absolutely worth it.
I mean, see, I haven't done as much editing as Saisha, and I don't think I would have lasted if I did. Because she went through so much work in such little time, it was actually scary. Like, I went through I did some editing, like this 70-page MUN, and thank God that committee had their, well, it was relatively easy to go through, but, some things are just, it's very difficult to get through, and it's frustrating. For the IPC, the press committee isn't usually my forte. I'm mostly around more debate-centered committees. But what I enjoy being around, what I actually appreciate about being allotted the IPC, is that I have a sense of creative control over the committee, in the sense that it doesn't get repetitive, right? Like, after you've been through MUNs for a few years, the topics seem tired, and just the rules of procedure, you get bored of it. You get bored of the sameness. But yeah, with the IPC, it's different, and I don't know. It feels like it's worth the effort. To be honest, to be completely honest, it really does.
Yeah, and just to add on that, Saisha and Osmi both handle like two different sides of the committee, and like Osmi's trying to build this whole different idea that we've had. So it's fun being, for me, it's fun being a part of both of it, but sometimes I feel like I'm not giving enough to both of it because I'm switching here and there. So it's, yeah, and when it's virtual, you just feel this disconnect with everyone. So I guess the like bad side of this year was just it being online. Otherwise, other than that, being press has always been my first, I'd say my first choice for a while. Like even last year when I didn't have to, I joined press, and I think it's different from the rest of the conference, and yet there's still that intellectual stimulation that you need that some people very much undermine. Like Saisha said, everything has to go through us because all these conferences are content heavy, word heavy. So I feel like people don't realize that's a part of the process. But yeah, that's how it's been till now.
Yeah, so like you guys have obviously been working pretty hard, and we learned that being part of the press entails a lot of hard work and dedication. And you also mentioned that like some of you have been part of the press for previous years as well. So what exactly was it that made you want to work as part of press?
Well, for me, I guess my first experience was, yeah, like everyone else, 10th grade, not everybody has to be reporters. So I was a roving reporter, and I don't know, I've always liked sort of being involved with newspapers and writing and that side of things that are kind of unpopular in terms of MUN, but I was drawn to it. I do love debate as well, and talking in committee and just being a normal delegate. But being press has, yeah, again, like Osmi said, creative. You have this sort of creative control over things, and I don't know, it's fun, and it feels like an actual workplace when you're a reporter. So I think that is also something that is appealing to me. And then yeah, but I don't know if I'd last as a committee reporter though, because I would like that having that creative freedom. That's what draws me in. So I like being a roving reporter for that reason. Okay, and Saisha?
Yeah, exactly like Meghna said, it's the create drew me to press as well. But to be really honest, in the beginning, it was more of, I like debating. In all honesty, unlike Meghna, I didn't really enjoy debating or being restricted to my country stance or staying in a committee room for like 3 days. I just despised it, honestly. But yeah, and I looked at press like as an alternative because I wanted to participate in an MUN, but I didn't really want to debate. So in the beginning, it was an alternative, but as it went on, I obviously really, really grew attached to press. So in A1, Meghna and I have been working in the press committee for like this is our third year in RBSMU and being a part of the press committee now. Ask me?
In a like a if it was under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't have opted for the press committee because I love debating and I'm mostly centered around that. It's just that this time the IPC was something that was original. Like it was initially Meghna's idea and it seemed interesting, which is why I wanted to pick up on it. And at that point, it just gives you a lot to work with when you're starting something new in a school, and if you're setting the precedents for a lot of students in the years to come, it sort of leaves an impact. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to start something that was significant to RBSMU and just giving it a lot of characters.
Conventional means, yeah, I think.
Yeah, true. Because the press is so heavily underrated, you don't even know. Like I edited like what, one document, two, three documents. I don't even know how many I did. But like just the entire process of writing and editing and making sure everything seems worth publishing onto our official website and like our like thing up list is a difficult task. And I don't know how Saisha like through all of that. Juggling schoolwork and this, it's difficult.
Yeah,
Mm,
but
we
not
need
just
more recognition here.
Yeah, but not just the press committee. I feel like our MUN as a whole needed something new, especially now that it's virtual. Like at some point we were bored in the middle of this pandemic, and like boredom has like eventually turned into like demotivation at this point into like a lot of people. So I get it. A virtual MUN, especially being a part of the press committee, could sound boring. So I feel like I don't want to sound too biased towards our committee, but I feel like our MUN really needed this, a new introduction.
It gives something gives you something to work for. Because I mean, when it's a tried and like tested testo calco like project or committee, you don't actually like a lot of the work becomes like very objective. If you know what I mean. I don't know. I like this subjectivity, and the IPC isn't just debate though. It's like we're taking it on to a whole new level, and I don't know. I like the idea of it. I'm happy with my committee, to be completely honest. I say that a lot, but yeah. We all have to be biased towards our committees, man. Like,
Okay, so personally for me too, I think I was more drawn to press because I think, I don't know, for me, debate is like kind of like a high intensity, like, I don't know, it's like a high pace environment kind of, I think. And I think, although like press does have that aspect with the press conference and stuff, I think with press you get to work like before the whole conference. So I think that's a part that is like really interesting about press, because I do like to work on things beforehand just so I have like a clear idea where I'm headed and stuff. So I think with people who do like to work before, and just also people, I'm not saying that people who like high paced environment do not fit into press, but I'm just saying it, like press provides a kind of like a platform for those who do not like really like thrive in high paced
Yeah.
environment.
I think press has like a corner and crevice for every kind of person. Like I was a person who craved debate, so I like fully utilize like the press conference. There are people who like to be, who like to stay quiet and who just want to write and express themselves to that. Committee reporters and roving reporters can fully utilize that. So I think it's a good space for everyone.
Yeah, press is like the best of
Dynamic.
both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds for me.
like participating as a press member feels very wholesome. I mean, in the sense that I don't know. At least when we were when in the year as I was a press member, and I felt like I was doing so much, and I was bonding with the executive members on a more personal level. Because I mean, it was a whole new process. Like you know what I mean. When we did interviews, and it just felt very. It wasn't hectic, but it was work, but it wasn't hectic. It was just chill and nice and any like yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I can enjoy my time as a
Yeah,
press
with press,
member.
I think you get to like love the process, the whole process of an MUN, and just like conducting it and going through it, kind of. So with that in mind, is there any experience that you guys have had over the past years about like any like funny incident, or like a very like, I don't know, intriguing one that you guys would like to share?
I have a funny one. I don't know if you guys are expecting some groundbreaking revelation that gave me confidence or something and made me into a new person. I can't think of any of that, but I definitely have a funny one. I would refrain from naming the MUN in which this happened, but I was in a Harry Potter committee. I absolutely love Harry Potter, by the way. So I was like absolutely stoked to be in this committee. So I walk into a Harry Potter committee and I sit next to ninth grade. I was definitely very intimidated. This is like my first non-RBS MUN, let's say. So I walk in, I was super intimidated, and I sit next to this other delegate. She tells me she's very unprepared and basically only knows like which position she's in. I obviously thought that was an exaggeration. No one just walked in knowing only their position. Is what I thought at least. And the GSL list starts, and then the first speaker starts giving her speech, and then she mentions Voldemort in her speech, and then the girl next to me whispers, "Eh, Didi, suno no, yo Voldemort भनेको चाहिँ को हो?" And I had to stare at her for like a couple minutes straight before realizing she was asking me a serious question, and then explain to her what a Voldemort is. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess, but it was fun. That was one of the comedies that actually gave me confidence to start speaking in MUN. I don't mean to say it's because we had stupid people in it. We did have very competent people as well. But I gained my confidence through that MUN is what I will say.
That's kind of funny. um, wait, okay. I can see last year in the podcast. I think I told you all my story. Wait, let me.
Which one
think.
did
Okay.
you say?
So I don't remember, but I feel like I said a funny story back then. But anyway,
Maybe you said
I went.
international MUN go. So if you have national.
Yeah, I can talk. I don't remember any national MUNs per se, but like international MUNs. What I remember, like I went to Sanskriti MUN twice, and the second time I went was in 2019. Oh yeah, 2019. So beginning of our A1 year, and I don't have any funny memories, but like basically there was this one time. So I was an observer nation in the African Union, so I had to leave the committee session. I had to leave the committee session every time they had voting procedure. Okay. So yeah, there was a table behind me and I really wanted to sit down. I sat down and I didn't realize it was a cardboard box and I was wearing a dress. Yeah, I just fell in front of a lot of people.
I think I remember.
I'm
the
sorry, I'm
story.
very bad at storytelling.
I think I remember.
Yeah, I don't think I told y'all. My friend from Esmond reminded me because I fell down in front of like 10 people, and everyone in the committee was staring at me like through the glass doors. It's a very weird story. I don't know. That's all I remember.
Yeah, no, falling in MU is like not uncommon for me at all. I'm a 5'2" person, so like heels, I feel like it's a must every MUN, especially with saris. And there was this one time I just like tumbled all the way down the stairs in our base MUN. I stopped in the middle and started tumbling all over again, and everyone just watched me tumble.
Oh
Not
my
a
god,
single
that
person helped
reminds
me.
me.
They just watched me tumble.
Wait,
That reminds
that
me
just
of one of
reminded me of something.
same.
Last
I
year
thought
was
I didn't have any stories, but I just got reminded of. Okay, go first.
yeah.
You can go first.
Wait, what's your story, Meg?
Mine isn't like as embarrassing as both of you, but it's like, yeah. In one MUN, I had to give my GSL, so I went up. I think my sari was already like not done well, but then I walked up and I gave my speech, and then in the middle of the speech, my sari ko stuff started like slowly like unraveling, and I could feel like the thing, like the chutti rak. I could feel the sari just like undoing itself. And then by the time I finished my speech, I literally had to like waddle back to my seat with like my sari half like undone. But yeah, I guess it's all the embarrassing stories are stemming from us wearing saris, which won't bother us this year, hopefully.
So mine's not like a clothing mishap or something, but in grade 7, like it was just like a minor MUN, like it's not like that important. But then, so my friend and I, we were actually playing tic-tac-toe in the MUN community, which is like really disrespectful. Don't do that, please. And then we got caught, and the chair, I think, almost kicked us out. It was kind of embarrassing in front of the whole committee, but yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah, there are always those delegates
That's so bad,
who don't care at all, and who
Like
are in the back just vibing.
Okay, so I guess we're done with the questions and we'll move on to the game of who is most likely to. So to start with, who is most likely to start their own media outlet or platform since you guys are working in press?
Meg,
now.
Yeah, I'd say me
our
as
local
well.
TikTok star.
No,
Halfway there.
not that kind of
XX,
media
Meghna,
platform.
XX. Oh,
No,
Meghna's,
please.
Meghna,
I thought you meant like
but
serious
you are
news
most likely to
agency
start
vibe.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I've thought
honestly.
about it.
She wears like boss lady suits
yeah, it's
every
definitely
MUN. She gives very boss lady vibes, anyways.
Dude, I bought a
Meghna
boss
is
lady
boss
suit
lady.
this time too, but I like no one will see it, so I'll just wear
It's
it
okay.
like for myself. Okay, next.
For yours. Next one.
Okay, so for the next question, so it is pretty apparent that there has been a lot of controversy on media biases. So we have like a would you like rather type of question, like most likely to. So the question goes, who would be most likely to be bought out by someone to write a biased article?
Ask me.
Saisha.
Ask me.
What? I have more. Saisha.
No.
It's
Okay.
Saisha.
Saisha,
I'm
give your
going to
answer.
suggest
Then
I
I'll
don't,
give my
please.
Saisha, give your reasoning. Who is it? I mean,
I'd say. You know what? I think all three of us have like stupid, strict moral compasses. Okay, probably me now that I think about it. Never mind. I'm sorry.
no. Okay, my
Saisha.
reasoning for choosing
Saisha over
Asmi
me,
is
Meghna.
my reasoning is I would feel too much guilt, and Saisha would just be too annoyed to put anything inaccurate. Like she'd probably scoff at herself. So like last is Asmi.
Bro, no. I'm like heavy on my morals, bro. I'm so heavy on my morals. I would not be like I would just not.
Well, I guess like since we didn't have a clear answer, that's honestly a good thing. You shouldn't
Yeah.
give in to that type of stuff. So the next question is like this has probably honestly already happened, but who's most likely to get annoyed or like most impatient at a press member?
Osmi. Okay,
Osmi.
I don't know. I think it's Osmi. Yeah.
It's me. It would be me, then Saisha, then
I
Meghna,
mean,
but
even Saisha's pretty like she gets annoyed and she'll go off on you, but
The answer would be Osmi, but this time I've definitely been most irritable because of, well, stress, but
I think I just stay with Osmi. Yeah.
Okay, so for the last question, we have who's most likely to be late to the conference?
Meghna.
Me,
Me.
Meghna.
Definitely me. No way, it's like even by default I live like way further from school than all of you. So etikapani I've missed like almost all the opening ceremonies.
Oh my god, that made me too. But yeah, I'm pretty late all the time. Okay, so I guess the answer is me for me. That is
Yeah, y'all have been
the
questioning me as a
clue.
punctual person.
It's just
But I'll just
comparatively, but like you're not Miss Punctual Princess. You're like okay, you're better than us.
wow.
She's better than us.
Okay, thanks. I'm Trisha's always late. She's always late to finish an exam. She's always late to school.
What? We're just like exposing each other.
I'm changing my answer to yeah.
You're changing your answer? Oh,
Yeah.
that's that.
Okay, so I think with this, we have come to the end of the podcast and we all had a good time. I hope the listeners enjoyed it too. So thank you to our three press members for joining us. And remember to check out the RBS MUN blog, the website, and also RBS MUN on Instagram.
Again, remember the MUN is on the 22nd to the 24th of Jan, and we hope to see you all there. And lastly, if you haven't checked out the last preview, please do so. So for now,
Bye.
Bye.